Hi, today's video I'm going to show you how to make this soft cover junk journal. It is made out of newspaper. It has fabric on the outside. Fabric to make the spine a little bit more sturdy when we add signatures, and also some construction paper, but you could also make alternate decisions on making paper with print, music sheets, whatever you have on hand. Let's start the process. This is just your ordinary advertisement papers that you get in the mail. You can find at your stores, any free newspapers of your neighborhood area and stuff like that. So I'm just taking this little bit here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets. So I'm going to make this a small one. Now, as you see here, mine is just a little longer, narrower. It all depends on what size newspaper that you are using. So after watching many videos on this for junk journaling and making things simple, I decided to make some of my own. As I adjust my camera here. So here we have the fold section in the middle. So how to do this is you're going to start, and let me grab my glue stick. And again, it's just your simple business source. This is something I had for a couple years that came through one of your supply companies that offers anything for office supplies. So what you're going to start doing is taking one sheet at a time and just putting an X right now just to secure your sheets. And just doing a big X. I'm not doing a whole lot right now until we get to where we need to really get everything lined up here. And we straighten this again. So this is simply what you're doing for both sides. So I'm going to do the remainder of this on both sides, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, I got both sides just semi-glued together with the sheets. I have them a little uneven in certain sheets. They could have been either cut differently, or I just didn't get them straight enough, but they're straight enough for me. Now, we see the section here of the spine. What you want to do is fold in one side, not quite to that center portion of the spine, because you want to have the capability of folding it correctly and that it lays out smoothly and flat. So it looks like I'm about 1/8 to a quarter away from that spine. I'm going to increase or crease my paper here, as you see. I don't have a bone folder. I do have a ruler if it helps, but I doubt it, but let's just try. So without tearing the paper, I'm just going to sharpen the crease. And what I'm going to do again is take my glue stick and just glue down that section right there so the paper will hold. Okay? Then I'm going to turn it around. Again, I'm going to fold in and go about 1/8 to a quarter of a way from that center section. Make a crease. Go over it lightly with my ruler just so I have a sharp crease and know where my fold is. Go ahead and take my glue stick and glue down the paper. Now when you fold it, you're just going to try to get your edges even, and then come back and retrain the spine section of where you want your crease at. And that's a start of your soft cover journal. Once you do that, now again, I'm sitting on the floor working on a piece of shelving from my bookcase that I never really put together again. I do have an old piece of paper that I use for gluing, if I'm doing more like a glue like this, tacky glue. I found the clear version of tacky glue. This is the original. I also have the turbo, which is not there, but this is my very first tacky glue bottle, and it's just about empty. So I had to add a little bit of water, and I kind of warm up the bottle. I sit it in warm water just so I can get the rest of it out. I don't like to waste anything. So what I do in the next process, getting everything ready, is now I pulled out some fabric on how I want to wrap my newspaper. Now again, before I do that, and I didn't pull out all my scraps, I would get a scrap strong enough, a piece of scrap fabric for the middle here to strengthen my spine. And I will probably do that off camera, but if I have enough here, I can also do that with a coordinating fabric, so I have a little bit of the inside matching the outside. So once I get everything in order here, and I'll probably iron or steam out these pieces, is I'm going to see how it looks. I normally try to give myself enough to fold in if I want to do that. And then have a soft cover journal. I have for like me have teddy bears. I may take a plain fabric. Let's see what I have here. This is odds and ends of stuff I was working on. If I want to take this and, you know, I have enough to cover this, not enough to wrap around, but it's just something, you know, again, just something. And I can even probably take and use this as the middle and just cut because I have it attached. So just cut out certain sections. I can do that. Again, here's something I was working on. Make it a piece of decorative. Again, here's another piece I was working on. This would probably be a good, again, I don't have enough to cover, barely just enough to cover the sides but not the top, and then fold it in, and then still add some embellishments if I want to before even attaching. So that's another trick to do. Again, now here's a piece I would probably strip and just say if it was a strip in here, I'll just fold it up to make it look like a strip. This I can sew right in the middle, right down the center of the spine. This way it would strengthen, so when I add signatures, and just picture it being just a flat piece, I would have the durability and the strength when I add signatures. Again, there was another cover I was going to be making a junk journal with, or a fabric journal. I started to embellish. My sewing, it's a little off center. I have more wide here and I had it come narrow. But again, that could be something unique and decorative. I can do it this way and add a piece of covering. There's a whole lot of possibilities and all that. I can add lace. I have a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, that I had in storage. So that's what I'm going to be working on. But that's just the main part. It's really simple. So any size newspaper that you get, just collect. You have small pieces here. You could probably make a small journal. You have this size, which only have 2 sheets on. You have the long version. And it's all the same process. Just get as many sheets as you want to work with. Glue them down on each side, each page. Fold it, like I said, 1/8 to 1/4 is how I approach it. And then fold it up. And then to get yourself ready to do your designing, adding fabric. If you want to embellish your fabric, slow stitching it together first, then attaching it. And what I do after attach it is I put all the glue here, smooth out the fabric, If I have enough to come over and do the corners each without doing excess bulking on the corners here, just like you would normally do a cover, have your spine. If you have, like I said, music sheet, old book pages, anything to do the inside, work on your signatures, and then you have a great soft cover junk journal. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for your time. Take care, and we'll talk soon.